Hi everyone, Miss Ennis here, and I'm going to be reading you a book called Rosie, Revere, Engineer. Okay, so I'm going to be reading this book to you. I'm going to read the page and then I'm going to bring the picture up to the camera, so you guys will be able to see the pictures after I read each page. So now I got my blanket, I got my pillows, I'm nice and comfy in bed, even got my dog next to me. So now that we're nice and comfy, I'm going to read you again. The title is Rosie, Revere, Engineer, and it's by the author, right? Remember how the author writes our stories? By Andrea Beatty, and illustrated, they draw the pictures by David Roberts. So let's look at that picture. Whew. Pretty exciting there. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's see. This is the story of Rosie Revere, who dreamed of becoming a great engineer. In Lila Greer's classroom at Blue River Creek, young Rosie sat shyly, not daring to speak. That was a teacher, the kids in school. But when no one saw her, she peeked in the trash for treasures to add to her engineer's stash. And late at night, Rosie rolled up her sleeves and built in her hideaway under the eaves. I'm starting to notice lots of rhyming words in the story. We got trash and stash, sleeves and eaves. I wonder what else we'll find in this gem of a story. Oh, she's picking up trash, trying to find some treasures for her engineer stash. Good job. Alone in her attic, the moon high above, dear Rosie made gadgets and gizmos she loved. And when she grew sleepy, she hid her machines, for under the bed where they'd never be seen. Let's see what she's building. Look at all those fun gadgets and materials she has. When Rosie was young, she had not been so shy. She worked with her hair swooping over one eye, and made fine inventions for uncles and aunts, a hot dog dispenser and helium pants. So if you look, right, we have the hot dog dispenser, and helium pants. He's flying up in the air by his pants. She seems like a pretty smart girl. The uncle she loved most was zookeeper Fred. She made him a hat to keep snakes off his head, from parts of a fan and some cheddar cheese spray, which everyone knows keeps the pythons away. Did not know that cheddar cheese spray will keep those snakes away. So if you look at a little gadget, look at the cheese is on top of her head. Get it. A little snake there. Trying to keep that snake away. And when it was finished, young Rosie was proud. But Fred slapped his knee and he chuckled out loud. He laughed until he wheezed, and his eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who stood there embarrassed, perplexed, and dismayed. She looked at the cheese hat and then looked away. I love it, Fred hooted. Oh, truly I do. But Rosie Revere knew that could not be true. She stuck the cheese hat on the back of her shelf, and after that day kept her dreams to herself. Oh no, she's sad, right? She's gonna have to try to just tucking those dreams away. That's not good. And that's how it went until one autumn day, her oldest relation showed up for a stay. Her great-great-aunt Rose was a true dynamo who worked building airplanes a long time ago. She told Rosie tales of the things she had done and goals she had checked off her list one by one. She gave a sad smile as she looked to the sky. The only thrill left on my list is to fly. But time never lingers as long as it seems. I'll chalk that one up to an old lady's dream. So her great-great-aunt Rose wanted to learn to fly. I wonder what Rosie will do. Take a minute and predict what you think Rosie might do. That night, as Rosie lay wide-eyed in bed, a daring idea crept into her head. Could she build a gizmo to help her aunt fly? She looked at the cheese head and said, "No, not I." But questions are tricky and some hold on tight, and this one kept Rosie awake through the night. So when dawn approached and red streaks lit the sky, young Rosie knew just how to make her aunt fly. She's coming up with ideas. Right, there's Rosie sleeping. She can't sleep. She has all these good ideas running through her head. I wonder how she's going to make her aunt fly. Let's check and see. She worked till the day was half gone, then hauled her cheese chopper out of the lawn to give her invention a test just to see the ridiculous flop it might turn out to be. Do you think it's going to be a flop? Do you think it's going to work? There's her, and she's holding her big kind of helicopter made of cheese. Pretty cool. Let's see if it's going to work. Strapped into the cockpit, she flipped on the switch. The Hello Cheese copter sputtered and twitched. It floated a moment and whirled around, then froze for a heartbeat and crashed to the ground. Oh no. Crashed. Then Rosie heard laughter and turned around to see the old man laughing and slapping her knee. She laughed till she wheezed and her eyes filled with tears, all to the horror of Rosie Revere, who thought, "Oh no, never, not ever again will I try to build something to sputter or spin or build with a level, a switch or a gear, and never will I be a great engineer." Oh no, just because it worked? She keeps on telling herself she's never going to be a great engineer. Let's see what else she might try to come up. She has some really good ideas. She turned around to leave, and then great-great-aunt Rose grabbed hold of young Rosie and pulled her in close and hugged her and kissed her and started to cry. "You did it! Hooray! It's the perfect first try. This great flop is over. It's time for the next." Young Rosie was baffled, embarrassed, perplexed. I failed, said dear Rosie. It just made of trash. Didn't you see it? The cheese chopper crashed. Yes, said her great aunt, it crashed. That is true. But first it did just what it needed to do. Before it crashed, Rosie, before that, it flew. Even the young Rosie was sad and embarrassed. Her great-great-aunt Rose gave her some good advice, right? That even though it fell, it still flew. So it was a great first try. Your brilliant first flop was a raging success. Come on, let's get busy and on to the next. She handed a notebook to Rosie Revere, who smiled at her aunt as it all became clear. Life might have its failures, but this was not it. The only true failure can come if you quit. Don't want to quit, right? We got to keep on working to make it good. Nope, I didn't show you the picture. Sorry. All of those drawing she was doing, getting those ideas on papers. We got drawings and writings, trying to make it better. They worked till the sun sneaked away to its bed. Aunt Rose tied her headscarf around Rosie's head and sent her to sleep with a smile ear to ear to dream the bold dreams of a great engineer. So they're just trying to dream, trying to make it better. At Blue River Creek, all the kids in grade 2 build gizmos and gadgets and do cookies too. With each project failure, they all stand in clear, and none quite as proudly as Rosie Revere. So all of her classmates are building gizmos and gadgets. They're being engineers by building, coming up with new things. The end. So, I hope you guys really enjoyed the story about learning about Rosie Revere, the engineer, that if you have an idea, you should always try and build it and maybe make some drawings to figure out how to make it. You're being an engineer by doing that. You got to try to make it as perfect as that and make sure it works. So keep on trying. So my goal for you is I want you to think about something in your house or maybe a chore that you could maybe make better or make something to make it easier to do, that you're being an engineer. You got to get that thinking cap on. You can draw pictures and write words to try to get your idea on paper, and even see if you might have some materials in the trash like Rosie Revere did. See if you can make it. Hope you enjoyed it. Bye.